ahead of the trade deadline on Tuesday. What will Monti Ossenfort do? Bo Brock, I'm going to start with you. Prediction time here. We're going to do a couple of shows ahead of the trade deadline. Your gut right now, what moves does Monti make to reaffirm the Cardinals as a firm playoff contender?
I want to set my sights very high here at the deadline, try to find the best option as far as pass rushers, and I think that's Azeez Ojulari, the brother of B.J. Ojulari. I think that would be the best option. He's a free agent this offseason, but it's 6 sacks this season. I don't even know what he put up today. Did he add to that sack total today against Washington? Doesn't matter. I mean, he's been productive all season long, and I think he would fit right into Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rollis' defense. I think, early day 3 pick would get the job done. And, you're able to supplement a little bit, a massive need that you have. And you see like what it looks like with not a ton of talent, that you can still be productive based on scheme and effort. But now you get somebody who's done it so far this season. I think that would be able to get them in a position, especially on third downs later in the season, maybe somebody that can get them off the field. So I'd love to see it, but I'll accept, the Arden Keys of the world, Darius Smith, who looks like he's destined to be a Lion, whoever it may be, get him to the desert, get him a one-way ticket to Arizona.
I agree. I think Azeez would come in and be a solid fit. I mean, you're obviously going to shoot for the stars. I keep seeing Max Crosby's and Myles Garrett. Those teams aren't getting rid of. They're not going to lose. They're not going to get rid of those guys. I just don't. You're going to have to come out of pocket with a lot of money and a lot of first-round picks to get a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby out here. But I mean, I think Ojulari is a good fit. Also, Arden Key can come in. He's had success out there. Darius, like you said, he's probably going to end up a Lion. But you've got options. You got plenty of options. I think the biggest thing is just go try to make a wave. Try to go out there and splash if you can. If you can sneak away with somebody you weren't supposed to get, I think that's huge. But anyway, any type of help you can get to come in and help this defensive line, start to generate more pressures as we get through this season, I think is a win.
I think there's a benefit to making 2 moves. I agree with Bo and Britton that Azeez Ojulari is clearly the best option. And if you're able to do that, we're going to applaud Ossenfort because it checks the box now and into the future. He's a free agent, but he's 24. If you love him, re-sign him, franchise him, you check a box. But if he's not obtainable, if you don't want to spend the money or you don't want to spend the draft capital, Arden Key had another sack today. He's got 4 on the year. Now, granted, it was against a bad New England team. I look at the state of this defensive line. Darius Robinson, where is he? When's he going to play? Is it after the bye? Probably. These defensive tackles are giving their hearts out. Stilley and L.J. Collier. I'm almost leaning Calais Campbell and Arden Key over Azeez Ojulari. Like, that's close for me because of the leadership that Calais brings, the impact on the field. I think sometimes more is more. The Cardinals have lost so much defensive front seven help. Justin Jones, Bilal Nichols, Dennis Gardeck, B.J. Ojulari. I don't think Azeez Ojulari makes the biggest difference over multiple ads, if that makes sense. Like, I do feel like the Cardinals should be open to multiple moves. I don't know if Ossenfort will. I certainly don't think he's going to want to move multiple picks from 2025, but if you can mix in, what's Miami going to ask for Calais Campbell? They lost again today. That team's going nowhere. He's on maybe his last 9 games of his NFL career. Bring big number 93 back to Arizona for a 7th rounder in 2 years, right? And then get an Arden Key or Azeez Ojulari. And then you add Darius Robinson when he's healthy. And Calais' addition would encourage you not to bring him back when he's not healthy. And suddenly now this defense gets refortified. You're already playing above your skis. Now it's like, is this one of the the best units up and coming in the second half of the NFL? So I do think Calais Campbell, if he's truly available, and it was leaked out today that teams are calling Miami, go get Calais. I know it's not an X's and O's fit necessarily, that he's not a pure edge rusher, Bo, but like their defensive tackles are gassed. And I think, frankly, it's only a matter of time before they lose another one.
I love it. I absolutely love that idea. That's why Johnny V is cooking here in the Valley. That was a beautiful trade idea, and bring him home to finish his career here. It would just tie an absolute bow around an unbelievable career for Calais Campbell, where he's drafted to the 2nd round to the Cardinals. Come in here, He'd be an absolute culture fit as far as what they got going on here with Jonathan Gannon and crew, and kind of tie together some of the different eras of Cardinals football, and also help fill a void that they have left. I don't care where he needs to play each and every down. It's a rotation. And like when we watched him in person last week, he was the best player on the defensive line on the field. So you take him, turn your nose up at him. It's very reminiscent of Jonathan Gannon's defensive line in Philadelphia during the Super Bowl run. He just kept adding guys. It didn't matter where they fit in. They just kept adding guys because they knew that if you're talented, if you're bought in, you're going to play hard with the motor, with the violence, you got a spot on this roster, on this defense.
And here's the kicker. Those teams, Britton Golden, in San Francisco and LA with those GMs are going to make moves. I will be shocked if we're sitting here Tuesday, especially John Lynch, given the state of his defensive tackle room, losing Javon Kinlaw, that they don't go out and they're aggressive. They're not aggressive. So you can, if you're Monti Ossenfort, sit on your hands, be content with this rebuild where they're at above schedule or ahead of schedule, knowing that these other teams, Seattle's made 2 trades already. They keep sucking, losing games, but they're trying to get better. The Rams and the Niners are coming. You got to be ready to combat whatever they do with moves of your own.
There's going to be moves made in the NFC West, especially with, given the records right now and how close the race is right now for this division. Moves are going to be made. There's going to be teams are going to try to bolster those defensive lines. They're going to try to find playmakers that they can get and bring in that can help the team right away. So I don't believe we'll be sitting here, scratching our heads with nothing happen. I think Monty's, like you said, dude, we've heard from multiple sources, they're cooking, they're working right now. There's stuff in the works, hopefully everything works out in our favor and, we can get who we need that can come in and make an immediate impact.
We all silly like the mayor.